Welcome everyone to another episode of Section 305, the Sports Show, number 24. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, the Black Mamba. I'm Raul Pagan, here with my colleagues Anthony Aguirre and Nick Dupont. How's it going, guys?
Yo, everything
Busy.
good?
Nick, you're
Yeah.
still at the Hard Rock?
I live here, bro. I live here until we
You stayed
win.
there for
I
a week?
live here until we win, bro. I sleep in the
Listen.
bleachers.
Because the national championship tickets have sold out, our boy is undercover. We can't give out his information, his destination, his pin.
Exactly.
We got none of that. We can't get rid of none of that.
Listen, I gotta enjoy it while I can before I get kicked out here. You know,
He's in
I don't
the air
want to
vents.
spend $3,000
Somewhere
for
in the air
tickets.
vents. He's
You're-
somewhere in
you-
the air vents, people.
You must be collaborating in a big way because 3,000 changing light bulbs with the birds.
I'm trying out here. You know, I mean,
Right. How is it
I'm
possible?
not gonna lie. Some operators have come by and noticed that their work has been done, and I just stay in hiding. I don't say anything. You know, they're just like, "Wow, who's done this already?" And they just ask each other. I'm just here like they will never find me. I'm gonna sleep here.
No, man. Like when I search for the tickets, I'm like, do I love the Hurricanes
don't.
or do I like them? Like love and like is not the same thing. Like when you tell a girl, when you tell a girl that you like her, when you tell a girl you like her, it's like, yeah, I like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can keep hanging out. But when you say the love word, ooh, like,
You do not
am
love
I
the
really
Hurricanes.
there yet? Am I really there yet?
Listen, that's why I'm here at the stadium because I love this team. You know, like the logo's already ready in the field. They have the band out. Like everyone's ready to go. I mean, I'm just saying.
You know what's crazy? I mean, you guys already know that I'm Gator Nation #1, but I support the Hurricanes as a second option. Like, everybody as a sports fan has that. Especially if you're living in South Florida. So, like, if the Canes win, man, this is gonna be a big parade here. I think this is gonna be like the most celebrated championship, even over the Florida Panthers back to back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it hasn't been since 2001. And the Miami haven't won since 2013. The Marlins haven't won since 2003. The Dolphins, let's not even talk about that. They haven't won since the 80s, since that perfect season, or the 70s.
We ain't doing that, bro. We ain't doing that.
We're not doing that. So I know I took basically a touch of nerve to Nick. Sorry for that. It's not the way I wanted to start this. So, and remember, when we end the show talking about the Hurricanes, I'm the kryptonite to their opponents, apparently, because they're on their way to the national championship.
Listen, you're walking on thin ice, pal. You're walking on
You guys
thin
want
ice.
you guys want me to root for them? You guys want me to
We will throw you off Biscayne if you even dare. We will throw you off Biscayne.
All right, so we're gonna
end up in Calle Ocho butt naked if you go for them this time.
All right, let's hit along.
Let's go directly. I mean, basically, our topics for today is mostly in the 305. There's a topic related to a two-time All-Star that plays with the Memphis Grizzlies. And then we're going to talk about what's the best situation for him. I think we already know who we're talking about. Then we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs. And then we'll end with the Natties. So, guys, let's go with our first topic, which is Ja Morant. Production, please have us all. All right, there we go. Please have us all on the screen. The Memphis Grizzlies are entertaining trade offers for two-time All-Star Ja Morant. Now, since we've got Anthony that has an interesting scoop for us, Anthony, what's the best situation for Ja? If you want to start first with your scoop and then give your answer.
My scoop is, and this is not a team source. This is nothing like that. I want to make that clear because I'm not one to get on those like kind of wagons with a bunch of fake insiders. I'm not trying to do that. But when you cover a league, you hear chatter. And the chatter that I heard is, you guys know Morant is supposedly injured with a calf contusion.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be the case. Apparently, he might simply just be refusing to play. Now that could change because we're recording on a Wednesday night. We're uploading this on a Thursday, and likely this will be uploaded before they play Orlando in Berlin. So Morant might play those games, those overseas games, because of course it's big TV. You gotta do the league some justice. But the rumor is that he's simply refusing to play. Simple as that. And of course
And,
he just
and
covered up.
he just had an argument with Vince Williams Jr.
Yeah,
on
that
practice.
just went viral. And so again, this is not a team source or anything like that.
Yeah.
But again, when you cover a league for so long, you start to hear some chatter
No,
from
thank you for
very
clarifying
close,
that. Thank you for
from
clarifying that.
from close, reliable people. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
And for the best
Wow.
situation, I mean,
That doesn't help actually with like his
no.
value
Well,
for
then
being
again,
traded. Like
I
teams
was
being
thinking,
interested. Like
Mhm.
if with that attitude, I mean, we've seen some of the players that have lowered their values through injuries or those type of attitudes. Like right now, Anthony Davis was actually like the biggest market next to Giannis or Ja Morant, and with him being to prone injury, like right now, nobody's gonna want to trade for him.
No, and that's why I actually think he won't get traded, because even though there's three teams reportedly interested: Miami, Sacramento, Milwaukee. None of them have amazing packages to offer, and also Morant's value is at an all-time low, similar to Trae Young. But the difference is obviously Trae Young, he's manageable. He doesn't have this diva attitude, so obviously you're gonna be okay with that better than a Ja Morant.
Mm-hmm.
So best situation, there's not too many teams I could say that are actually good. Even Miami, I would not say it's good. As much as I've had my issues with Tyler in the past. Um, I'm personally kind of iffy about it.
Yeah, we know. We
Yeah,
know.
I truly don't know where to put him. I'm having a hard time.
Mm.
I'm having I every situation is maybe the Clippers get some rebuilding over there, get to California. I don't know. I genuinely have no good destination spot for him. I don't know, man.
All right. So if I tell you about the Milwaukee situation, what happened yesterday? They got blown out by the Minnesota Timberwolves without Anthony Edwards, and you know that like Las Vegas had, if I'm not mistaken, it was like plus 180
You know what?
on the on the on the
I'll
on
change my answer
the
real
on
quick.
the Minnesota Timberwolves. So they were
Uh,
they were disrespecting them because
uh,
Anthony Edwards wasn't playing, and the Milwaukee Bucks got blown out. And you saw that this was one, if not the worst, margin of deficit in the first half of Giannis Antetokounmpo's career with the Milwaukee Bucks. One of, if not the worst, and the crowd was booing. I don't know if it was specific on him or the whole team, but then when the second half started, he literally scored an and one and basically put the fingers down towards the fan base. So that obviously that's not one of the topics today, but it is a controversial. If Milwaukee is basically one of the teams that could possibly be a destination for him, is it going to be like a swap?
no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be a swap. But if anything, you know what? Just send him to Brooklyn. A place that's boring. There's not much trouble there. They can offer you honestly the better
Michael
package
Porter
out of
Jr.
all
is a
these
star right
teams.
now. Michael Porter Jr. is a star right now.
I know. But
24
he'll
points
like.
per game.
I think he'll get traded for a good value actually.
I'm not buying Michael
But
Porter Jr.
I don't
I'm
know. There's
buying
not many
that.
places I could say that Jaws has a good destination spot.
I mean, anybody who goes to Brooklyn is going to be an all-star. Let's
Yeah,
exclude Kyrie and Kevin. They were already superstars, and James Harden. But then you have Michael Bridges, Cameron Johnson. Boom, they were playing like all-stars.
Yeah, Nick, let's get you in this, man. What do you think?
So your answer basically is you have
Just,
no
Bro- just
idea.
just go to Brooklyn. Go to Brooklyn.
That's all right. They got more to offer. I mean, at the end of the day, like those type of teams like Judah and Brooklyn right now are the guys that can offer a lot of round picks and certain veterans, maybe one young player. I mean, that's actually like the ideal and the only option, if I'm not mistaken, Anthony, since you know about the cap space and all about those type of scenarios and situations. But when a superstar wants to be traded, obviously they want to go to a contender or to a big market team. So it's like this has been one of the most difficult seasons that we've seen, like superstars requesting a trade, but the destination that they want to be at is very low percentage that could happen.
There's a reason Trae Young was easier to Washington. But what do you think, Nick?
Well, listen, man, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect you at all to have no team, or even say Brooklyn. As a matter of fact, I was expecting you to say something like Milwaukee.
I thought I was by myself in an island.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was not
First
expecting
time.
that at all. I do think Milwaukee would be a good fit for him. You know, right now the point guard position is really weak with Ryan Rollins, even though he is having a breakout season for them. Again, there's no point guard play there, so he's playing well. But I would love to see him in Miami. You know, I think a couple of months ago, I think we may have talked about this. I said I did not want Ja Morant at all. I did not want him because of his off the court antics and his style of play just wouldn't fit. But the Miami Heat are struggling, man. You know, they're really struggling, and Tyler Hero cannot stay healthy for anything. I think he's played a total of 10 games this season, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nine.
Nine. Yeah, like 8 or 9 around there, exactly. And then, with our other guys that we've extended, like Drew Smith and Nikola Jovic, they've not been good, At this point, the Heat just kind of need a new, fresh player, and I think Ja would be great for them. If we can end up trading Jovic and Hero for him, I would probably hate it, but at the same time, I'd probably love it because Miami needs a new rebranding of basketball right now. Like, yes, we had our run in October that was fantastic, but it's not.
I mean, they looked and with Adebayo missing a couple of games, Hero still not making his debut, Norman Powell also missing like 1 or 2 games. Like, they were complementing each other. Like, This was a team that you were like, this is the offense that we finally were waiting for. This is the offense that we haven't seen in years. Not even when we made the run to the finals. When we made the run to the finals in 2023, they were the worst offensive team. I don't know what happened. They made a switch to the light bulb in the playoffs.
You know what happened in the playoffs.
Okay,
Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it, Raul.
Stop it. Stop it, Anthony. Stop it.
Don't make me say it, man. That's what I'm saying.
Stop it. Well, going back really quickly, though.
I've been 3 years sober.
Okay. All right. Well, I think Ja would be really fresh to the team. I think that's would be his best fit with us. Spo he would still put him on a leash, I feel like, in the sense that he would control him in the off-the-court antics and stuff because, once people come into this culture and this system, they really change the way they play, and they also change the way they look at the game as well. Again, at this point in the life of the Miami Heat fans, I think this is what's best for the team, and I think this is what's best for Ja. And again, a few weeks ago, he's already bought property in Miami, And Anthony, you did make the good point earlier.
December. It said December.
Oh, December. I missed it. A few weeks ago. Yeah, the same thing.
It's purchased exactly a $3.4 million house.
Yeah, and I understand that a lot of athletes do have property here in Miami and in Florida and in general. But for the most part, man, if in this situation, if Ja's unhappy and Rachel Nichols is reporting that he wants to go to Miami, I'm pretty sure we're going to see something happen. Maybe not with Miami. I'm expecting the Bucks, if not Miami. But right now, that's
Rachel. Wait. Rachel Nichols said that's where she expects Ja Morant. Shams is the one that reported that's actually the biggest percentage destination where Morant is going to end up. Who is Shams?
Rachel
Who is Shams? Who's Shams?
Rachel
the real NBA insider.
No, but
what are we talking about?
No.
Why is he leaving?
I don't know what he's on. Rachel said no, but Rachel did say on a podcast that she's heard that he wants to go to Miami. Obviously, they have the.
Who's the NBA insider who gets all the information?
They both worked for ESPN at one point, so they both have sources of their own.
Yeah, but who's the number one? Like it used to be with Woj. Who's number one right now? Who replaced Woj? Who replaced Woj?
No one replaces Woj. He just retired. Okay. That's different.
He did not. He basically did not retire. He right now is operating a college program.
He retired from being an insider.
Yeah, he retired from being an insider and became a GM.
All right, so he can come back to being an insider, but he didn't officially fully. Remember, it was because of the same guy. It was because of his health. First of all, it's because of his health. Second of all, he's now.
Bro, I respect Shams for everything that he does, but he's the same guy that's gone year after year about Giannis potentially getting out of Milwaukee, and it never happens. Not to say he's wrong, because I know he hears stuff, but again, it's the same guy. So you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. All right,
But
so I just
even-
wanted to clarify the difference
but I-
between him and her.
Oh,
That's all
yeah,
I
we
was saying.
understand
Obviously
the
different
difference.
levels,
It's just
obviously. We ain't disputing that.
if someone's still reporting that and they're saying flat out that Ja Morant wants to go to Miami,
See, that's what I'm talking about. What did I miss?
You're
Yeah,
saying
but
Shams said that rather than Rachel Nichols.
Rachel Nichols said that first before Shams.
She said that first, but then Sham also said, like, right now, Miami is the preferred destination. I'm just trying to clarify the public because Rachel Nichols used to work at ESPN. Sham works at ESPN.
They needed
Guys,
an insider. What else are they gonna do?
All right, so
I mean,
that's all right. So
I'm just telling you the reports that I saw first.
All right,
Yeah.
so okay, continue, Nick.
No, that's it for me. You know, if not Miami, Milwaukee, because Miami just needs a fresh new coating of paint at this point. We're desperate for anyone.
All right, so but if it's Milwaukee, just like Anthony said, what can they offer? Because it's definitely not going to be Giannis.
But they're not gonna get the best offer regardless.
It's going to be capital. It's going to have to be draft capital and players. Unfortunately, you know.
Well,
maybe someone like Bobby
That's
Portis.
the issue. That's the issue.
Milwaukee doesn't have most of their own draft picks, and the ones that they can trade are not valuable at all. Any team interested right now needs a third team, regardless. The Heat need a third team most likely. The Bucks definitely need one, and the Kings will prefer a third team.
All right, so this is my take.
Mm-hmm.
Ja Morant, he's a superstar. I respect that player. I've criticized him before in the past because of his outside issues. This is a guy that has been 7 years in the league. And
is he a superstar though?
I mean, at one point he was looking like a superstar. Nick, what are you talking about?
Yeah, at one point, but
he's regressed.
I mean, not regressed talent-wise. It's been injuries and outside issues.
We've seen injuries take away talent before.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. So that's where I was getting into. So this is a guy that has been 7 years in the league, averaging 22 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 46% shooting, 31% from the three-point line, 77% from the free throw in 325 games. 7 years, those are 82 games. So make the math. The guy has never played 70 games in his career. So that is worrisome. From the beginning, when he won the Rookie of the Year, to when he's been a two-time All-Star, to the issues he has off the court, which, let's just say he's learned his lesson, and now being prone to injury. Nick, if Pat Riley didn't sacrifice a whole lot of the future of Miami, which is based on first rounders drafted by that organization, for Kevin Durant, he hasn't done it for Giannis at the moment.
Should have.
He didn't do it for Donovan Mitchell. Thank God he didn't do it for Bradley Beal. Thank God.
I'm grateful for that.
We can agree on that one. We can agree on that one.
Thank God he didn't do it for Bradley Beal. He didn't do it for other, let's just say, all-stars.
James Harden,
he's also in the conversation. Thank you for clarifying that he was also in the conversation. And the most important, which all of us thought there were two, from not only last summer, but prior to it, we were talking about Damian Lillard. Yeah. He was a clear favorite.
That hurt me the
most. Kevin Durant, also another clear favorite. If he hasn't sacrificed first rounders, when I mean first rounders, the players that we have, Jovic, Jaques Jr., All-Star Hero, All-Star Adebayo, Kelly Ware, which he's right now developing, Pelle Larson, another player that is in the development. And then now we got Casper Jackashunas. Like, the majority of the players that we have are first rounders drafted by the organization. And then some veteran players that we traded for Wiggins, David Mitchell, and Norman Powell. They've been a blessing, all three of them. We can't not deny that. And then Simon Fontecchio is a young player, and players that we've acquired undrafted. If he hasn't done that move when Jimmy was literally basically putting pressure on the organization to acquire somebody that can help him and Adebayo, because apparently they didn't believe in Bam to be like a second consistent scorer. Understandable.
He can't be.
He can be. He can be.
No, sorry, I meant he can't be. If you're trying to win
I still believe. I still believe he can be. Like I still believe he can be.
Let's stay on pace.
The point is, what I'm trying to say is that it's crazy to even like try to want Ja Morant when if he didn't sacrifice for players that can actually you can rely on or depend on, basically taking you to the promised land. What it makes you believe, even though that culture has changed a lot of players. That's why analysts like Kendra Perkins and others have reported Ja Morant should have a fresh start in Miami because it's one of the best, if not the best culture in NBA with Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, Alonso Mourning. Has a lot to do with also, you know what I'm saying, with basically mentoring the players. I feel like if Morant arrives to Miami, he's going to reinvent himself. Happened with Mourning when he left the Hornets. Not reinvent himself, just say change of a little attitude. Happened with Gary Payton. Troublemaker players around the league. It happened with Jimmy Butler. It has happened with a couple of that have entered that organization. But is that really the best situation for Ja to basically reinvent his career and basically not cause problems either outside, since Miami is a distraction, even though they are the most stricted and most professional organization on keeping their players stable, responsible, dedicated, reliable. And at the same time, this guy has lost a lot of games with injuries. That's something that people are actually not talking about that much, mostly than what he's have issues outside of the court. I'm actually talking to Nick, since Anthony didn't have an answer. He only picked Brooklyn, and Brooklyn obviously has the assets to trade for him, including the Utah Jazz. But Nick, since you asked for him to go to Miami, for me, that would actually be very interesting because I know Miami is the way that can actually basically change a player mentality-wise, and at the same time, one of the best organizations keeping players healthy, even though Hero's not being the case, and others. Like, after the take that I just said, you still think that's like the best scenario for Morant to be at?
Well, absolutely. You just kind of contradicted yourself there. I'm not going to lie. It goes back to the point of, like you said, Alonzo Mourning, Tim Hardaway Jr., Chris Bosh, and even LeBron James, who basically just they flourished, they grew within this organization, man. And again, yes, Miami is very strict when it comes to their players and what they do on and off the court. Like, if you want a perfect example of a guy that has a lot of problems off the court, Hassan Whiteside. Hassan Whiteside was a monster for the Miami Heat. As much as I dislike him, he was a monster for the Heat.
Got that contract, then regressed.
We don't talk about that. But I really feel like this would be a good spot for Ja Morant. And again, it's gonna be a fresh new environment for him. A lot of distractions, yes, but he's gonna want to hoop, man, and they're gonna put that into his head. He's gonna need to hoop, especially if he wants to earn more money around this league. And I think they're gonna instill that into him.
We gotta start moving along, guys.
All right, so I'm not opposed to him coming to Miami because with the struggles that they have, and this guy, like, I forgot who said that they don't consider him a superstar. Was it you, Nick? Because then you're contradicting yourself as well. Because you want
He's
basically average star player.
He's a star, not a superstar.
All right, so you're telling me before we move, Anthony, I'm sorry. I just want to say this type of numbers. He was averaging his best career in 2022. That's where the Memphis.
Was.
All right. Before you cut me off, this is a player that can average with a guy like Desmond Bain that can be a star for any team. He could be with the Memphis Grizzlies. Look what he's doing with the Orlando Magic. Jaren Jackson Jr., he's a star and he's a two-way player. So we have in Miami a guy that's going to be a star for the first time in his career, Norman Powell. If Ja Morant gets traded, Tyler Hero is probably going to be part of that package. And then we got Bam Adebayo, who's a two-way player like Jaren Jackson Jr. He's a two-time All-Star and he's a two-time Olympic gold medalist. This is a guy with those two players that his best season of his career averaged 27 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 49% shooting, 34% three-point line. The next year, he averaged 26 points per game. 2024, 25 points per game. Last year, 23 points per game. This year, 19 points per game, but only has played in 18 games. So you're telling me that this guy, literally, what he's averaged through his career, which is in total 22 points per game, that's not a superstar type of level. When a guy is a face of a franchise, that's not a superstar type of level. Because when you talk about Brooklyn, there's no star player. And if there's a star player, there's no face of the franchise. When you talk about Utah, there's no face of the franchise, not even Lauri Markkanen. Like, there's a lot of teams that have star players, but are not faces of the franchise.
Guys, you guys gotta make, come on, final points here. Final points between both of you.
Final point for me is that, like you just said, like the most, I hate to say, understandable situation for him is going to be a team that can basically provide and give assets to what Memphis is going to be asking, since they have a leverage for that. Miami, yeah, I could say is a good destination, but I was just trying to make sense of why Nick would go directly with that type of scenario of Miami being the best.
All right, Nick, final point.
All good.
All right, next one.
All good. I mean, why do you gotta do my boy Kevin Love dirty like that on the screen though? Come on, bro.
Dude, he's gotten caught.
That was production, man. That was not me.
No, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? He missed that dunk. He's almost gotten like caught twice.
Poor Kevin Love, man. I miss him. Miss him every day.
No, I actually miss him as well, especially when he trolled.
Yeah, no, he made everything enjoyable.
When he trolled lots of players. All right, so let's go to the NFL, which wild cards concluded with the majority of home teams being eliminated. Four teams, and those were the Carolina Panthers, which we should have expected that, guys. Don't tell me that was gonna be one of the biggest upsets. The Bears could have been a fifth team. I mean, the Bears, yeah, exactly. The Packers had a big lead in the fourth quarter. They lost that. Interesting win by Chicago. And then Saturday, we saw how the Jaguars also could have beaten the Bills. Bills took care of their first road game, which they're going to be on the road for the rest of the playoffs, including the Super Bowl. Super Bowl's neutral. We saw how the Patriots took their home field advantage, beat the Chargers. Chargers literally didn't give a damn sign of making a comeback. We saw how the 49ers took the champs. Low blow for them. George Kittle is going to be out the rest of the playoffs. Fred Warner, there's no basically timetable for him to return. Not even questionable. Not even a day-to-day. It's going to be difficult against that Seattle Seahawks, and how that 49ers defense even gets less healthier. And then we have the Texans dominating the Steelers, which basically Mike Tomlin officially resigns from being their head coach. So we've seen so many different interesting scenarios, outcomes, final results of all 6 games, coaches being fired, coaches resigning, which the Tomlin one, I thought it was going to be more about the Steelers moving on than him moving on from that franchise. And so, me basically giving that type of introduction, we'll go to what production basically created, the real headline in question. Which divisional round matchup has you the most excited? All right, so Anthony, so you took the first word. I'll give it to Nick.
Well, I know it's kind of hard to pick this one. I'm not going to lie to you. If I had to go with one though, I'm going to go with the Seahawks and the Niners. I think that's going to be a really interesting game. You know, honestly, the coach of the year for me, Kyle Shanahan. He's been finding ways to win all season.
That's a good pick.
Niners team.
That is a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's him and Vrabel for me, and those are the guys that are right now that one saying are neck.
It could between him and Ben Johnson, actually.
Maybe Ben Johnson, but I think Vrabel's a better pick for coach of the year right now because he's done a lot more with a lot less on his team. And
what was the last time Chicago made the playoffs and won a playoff game? You got to take that in consideration.
Well, they made it with Mitchell Trubisky. He didn't go anywhere. So, but again, I see where you come from, though. It's not a bad take saying Ben Johnson. But for me, my coach of the year right now is Kyle Shanahan. I think that game's going to be great. I think the main thing
I can give you that answer. It was 2010, the last time they won the playoff game.
Well, it's fine. They made the playoffs more recently, though, with Mitchell Trubisky. It's fine. I mean, again, my coach of the year is Kyle Shanahan because he's on his 5th and 6th string linebackers, and he's still finding ways to win. He's had Mac Jones for half of the season and has still found ways to scheme up against teams and win big games. He just knows how to get the best of it out of his players. And, you know, it's very interesting to me, especially for this matchup, because if I'm not mistaken, the Seahawks did beat the Niners earlier this season. Correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, I'm going to check myself on that right now. But for the most part, man, this game is about Sam Darnold.
They did. That's why they were number 1 in the division, and they beat them to end the season.
Niners beat the Seahawks in week 1 or week 2. And then it was the flip side, opposite towards the end of the season.
Whoever won that last game was gonna win the division.
Listen, regardless, now that we know what Kyle Shanahan can do when it comes to his entire team, he can get the best out of his players. My biggest thing about this team,
coach. Yeah, I agree. He's the best coach in the league.
I need to see more out of Sam Darnold for this upcoming game, and that's what everybody needs to see because we saw what happened last year in Minnesota when he played in the playoffs. They fell apart. Like the ghost of Sam Darnold came back, man. He was lost out there, dude. This year, the Seahawks have an insane defense. I will say one of the best defenses we've seen in the entire NFL, next to the Broncos and the Texans. But I think that's going to be the game of the week, man.
The best defense in the NFC.
Well, I'm just saying, just in the NFL
Seahawks.
in general. I'm just saying the NFL in general. Like they have one of the best defenses in the NFL, next to the Broncos and the Texans right now. But again, that's going to be an amazing game watching Brock Purdy just sling the ball. And again, it's really going to matter if Sam Darnold can live up to those expectations of making that big money now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, so Anthony?
I'm going Texans and Patriots on this one. After that can of whoop-ass that they brought,
before I cut you, Anthony, me and you, Nick, is either you or me are going to be right. Because remember last week when we did the predictions, who's the sleeper, who's the dark horse? And give credit to Anthony. That was one of the headlines.
Hey, come on, man.
That was one of the headlines he created. And
I picked the Niners. Keep that in mind. I picked the Niners.
No, but in the AFC, you picked the Texans, just like me.
Yeah.
Just like me. You created the headline, and then you picked the Patriots. So in this case, one of us is going to be wrong, and the other one right. So, Nick, I hope you're right.
Dude.
I hope you're right. It's the same thing with what's happening in the national championship, which that's gonna be our last topic. I hope you're right, Nick. I'm rooting for you. I hope I'm wrong. I hope me and Anthony are wrong. I hope our predictions are the worst.
Listen, if that Texans defense does what they did to the Steelers, and CJ Stroud doesn't keep slinging the damn ball when he's getting thrown around like a rag doll, and I like CJ Stroud a lot. If he just stops throwing it, because in my opinion, most of those fumbles, he could have prevented it by just taking the sack. If he just did not throw it and just kept the ball, then those fumbles would not have happened. So if he does a better job of taking care of the ball, actually getting the ball down the field, the run game was actually pretty good, even though they're not that strong at that. And the defense stays that strong, man, this team can go far, man. Come on.
I mean, I agree with you. I picked the Texans to be the dark horse,
Yeah.
and if that means basically beating the Patriots, I mean, I couldn't disagree.
You benefit either way. You're a fan of the Patriots, and you pick the Texans as underdog.
I don't know if he really benefits
either way, you benefit.
I mean, I'd rather be wrong, Anthony. I'd rather be wrong.
Man, I was gonna say
you would still benefit no matter what. I'm just saying.
I'd rather be wrong because I promise you, I'm not gonna do next week's episode with you guys. Of the Patriots
yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're getting. You're getting
next week's Patriots.
Because I went through all season of watching Dolphins football. So you are going to get on this call and you are going to talk about if they win or lose, regardless of what happens. And you understand?
We'll give you a segment to vent if necessary. We'll give
I showed up with a bag on my head one episode, dude.
All right. So Anthony, I agree with you. I mean, I'm going to pick another team just to, you know what I'm saying? Be differential from both of you guys. But just one thing that I want to clarify. You got to remember, I know that's the best defensive team in the league. They face a team that was ranked 25 offensively, 26 yards of passing, 26 running game, 15 point scoring. So let's not act like they beat one of the best offensive teams in the league. No, they beat one of the worst. It was easy money. It was easy money for them. They had two different defensive touchdowns. One was a pick six, and the other one was a fumble. Like, let's not talk about
but you're acting okay. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. The defense carried, and usually your defense doesn't score more points than your offense. That's not the case. That takes a miracle.
Yeah. Okay.
So for the fact that they were able to overcome all of CJ Stroud's fumbles, interceptions. To me, it just shows like the Hurricanes, which we'll talk about later, battle tested. You know what I'm saying? They had to overcome their own mistakes.
So, okay, I understand that. All right, so what if that scenario happens with the Patriots? You think they're gonna win?
I think it'll be tougher. I think it'll be tougher. Okay, I think it'll be tougher, and I think it'll be a lot closer. It'd be a lot closer. You know what I'm saying? Because I respect what they do. It'd be a close game.
All right. I just want to throw that out.
The Pats are going to score more than 6 points a game. So I would say it would be a much closer game than what we saw those last couple nights. Yeah.
All right. So I've got to go with the Broncos and Bills. Nick.
Oh yes.
Nick. Remember, and Anthony, as well as you, remember when we moved to our last topic before that, we were talking about our dark horse teams. Mm-hmm. And I said, Nick, Anthony, no Lamar Jackson, no Patrick Mahomes.
No excuses.
This is literally the only path for Josh Allen, even though the Broncos defense and what Bo Nix has prove to us that important clutch plays he can execute. He did it with that comeback against the Philadelphia Eagles, which gave him the first loss. We've seen it against other teams. So it's something that, you know what I'm saying, gives you hope, at least for the fans. When you see the Patriots and the Texans, both dark horses that we picked, they're not going to be going against other teams. They're facing each other. So one of them is going to prove us right, and the other one's going to prove us wrong. All three of those teams are actually favored over the Bills. And it's crazy to say, just to me, finish this topic and go to the last one.
I actually have two more questions after this.
Okay. All right. So just to wrap it up, I still say you have no Lamar. You have no Patrick Mahomes. This is actually probably the only way for Allen, even though he has to do it on the road the whole playoffs, to make it to the Super Bowl. And if he doesn't, I promise you, Allen has never been criticized in the playoffs. He's been the reason why they should have won
Yep.
3 games against the Chiefs. Because their first time, which was AFC Championship, they were dominated. But there were 3 times that the Bills could have won. It was going to be because of Allen. The defense let him down. And some of the drop passes from his wideouts. And then he beat Lamar Jackson last season. But a lot of people are talking about, what if Mark Andrews would have captured that 2-point conversion and they go to overtime? Ravens could have possibly won that game. But it didn't happen. So we got to give credit what creditors do. Allen in the playoffs has been one of the most impressive players or the most impressive player outside of Dan Marino to not win a chip. Because Marino at least made it to the Super Bowl. But Allen hasn't made it to the Super Bowl. So that's what I'm saying. Like, against Denver, I don't have them winning. But a lot of people are gonna probably criticize him for no reason, depending on how he plays. Obviously, that the Bills basically their road to make it a Super Bowl has officially ended. Because next season, let's see what the Ravens do. Let's see what the Chiefs do. You see the Jaguars that they actually could have won that game against them. You see how loaded the AFC. Like, I don't know. That's basically my take on if the Bills don't make it to the Super Bowl. But yeah, for me, that's the most interesting, impactful game. Nick, take the last words.
So following up with actually the Buffalo Bills, if they do not win this game, do you guys think the window has closed for Buffalo and their Super Bowl?
Yep. Without a doubt. Come on now.
Yep. Definitely.
And then very quickly, can I get a score projection on your games?
Yeah, of course. Hell yeah. Oh, wait, you asked that question, or I'm
asking if you guys can give me a score projection, like what you guys think the scores are.
All right, so for my pick, I'll give it 30-24 Denver.
Wow. I like it.
I mean, the defense of Denver is good, but I know Bills are gonna give a battle.
I like it.
They're not gonna be if they're less than 20. The headline is gonna even be worse. Nick and Anthony.
I mean, I think they'll probably shut them out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Broncos defense is nice. Anthony.
33-28 Texans.
Wow.
33-28 Texans.
No, 33-28. I don't know what I said. My gosh.
No, you said 33-28.
Yeah.
Texans winning.
Okay, no, I thought I said 38 for a second. This is where my mind just gets boggled. I don't sleep, okay?
Hey, guys, fan base of us, understandable. All of us are working 24/7, Monday to Sunday, no days off. So
yeah, 33-28 Texans up.
All right. And your prediction you said 49ers and Seahawks?
I'm going to go 17-13 Niners.
What?
Yeah! Let's go, boy!
You are crazy! Are you serious?
Get the clicks in. I'm going 17-13 Niners. Kyle Shanahan is not done yet. The Super Bowl is in Santa Clara this year, and they are going to push for that home game in the Super Bowl this season. I want them to succeed.
All right, so for the teams
I'm with it. All right, Nick. Yes. Let's go.
All right, so for the game that we didn't pick, Rams and Bears, who wins?
The Bears. Give me the Bears, man. Give me Caleb Williams on this, man. You saw what he just did against the Packers, man. Come on.
They have to come back in the fourth quarter. What are you talking about?
Even more. That's even better.
The Packers shot themselves.
Listen. I'm a guy who, when you're battle tested to the damn, throughout thick and mud, and you get out of that, I'm with that. I'm with you. I roll with you. I'm confident. Give me the Bears.
Nick,
I like it. Listen, I don't have a Rams jersey on, but I do got my MVP's number on, and that's number 9. Give me Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams. Give me Rams 24, Chicago 20.
Rams 24, Chicago 20?
Yeah.
That's actually a good score.
I'm gonna go 28-23.
That's
28-23.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go Rams 42-20.
Oh, not expected that. A little wild today with the score, boys. I like it though.
You know what? Since we're going to our next topic, let's get more crazy. Let's get more crazy with it.
Let's go with the Natty. The national championship stage is set with number 1 and undefeated Indiana Hoosiers facing number 10 Miami Hurricanes at the Hard Rock Stadium.
Waited so long.
Bro, we're going to be seeing possibly 2 stages of teams hosting it. We could possibly see the Rams hosting the Super Bowl in Los Angeles.
No, Santa Clara. No. Niners in Santa Clara.
Did it say 2026 Los Angeles Super Bowl?
No. Santa Clara, California. That's what the Niners could host it.
Oh, it's in California, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, but
Come on, man. It's California.
It's in California. Come on,
man. I know California is a state and that's a city, but come on, man. Like, serious right now?
Your district. Come on, man.
All right. In this scenario, it's a Florida state, but it's literally in South Florida. Miami is gonna be hosting the Natty against the Hoosiers, against the Cuban Latino American Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza. Which, guys, I've been driving through downtown, driving through the 95, wherever you wanna name it. I've seen more billboards about the Hoosiers and especially Fernando Mendoza than the Hurricanes.
So what?
So. All right.
New York fans down here doesn't mean they're gonna win a championship anytime soon.
All right. So Anthony,
I like it.
Let's give you the first word in this last topic. Will this be a Hoosiers perfect ending to a season or a Hurricanes upsets?
Give me the Canes by a million. By a freaking million. Listen, I've said this on the last show. The Hurricanes have had the toughest trip to get to this point.
Understandable.
You start off with Texas A&M, a great defensive line, led the nation in sacks. You beat them. Ohio State, reigning champs. You beat them, and you ran the ball so damn well.
Best defense of the league.
Ole Miss, great offense. They were on fire, and you outscored them, which is not really your identity. They did that. Meanwhile, the Hoosiers faced an Alabama team who cannot run the ball. I talked to Nick about this. I did a story on this. And then the Oregon Ducks, who had no running backs, they switched a safety and a linebacker to running back to even attempt to run the ball. So, in my eyes, not to discredit Indiana and their regular season, they're great in that regard. But where is the battle testing in this? It's just mainly whoop ass. So, give me the Canes, who have been battle tested. Adversity has hit them so many times, and they've come out on top each time. Give me the damn Canes, man.
You want to go, Nick? Or
come on, Nick, boost me up here, man.
I need to say it. Do I already need to say it?
Dude, get me amped up like Michael Irvin, man. Come on.
Listen, all I know is that the People Bowl this year is gonna be fantastic. We got 2 generations of Cubans going up against each other with Mario Cristobal and Fernando Mendoza, and it's gonna be incredible for all of Miami to watch. All of Miami and all of Cuba, all the generations of Cubans are going to be watching this game. And something I've noticed about this game, a lot of the older generation Cubans are going for Fernando Mendoza rather than Miami, which is funny.
Yeah.
And guess what? Ruben Bain Jr., Akeem Mesidor don't care about your race. Black, white, Cuban,
that
they
is
don't
exactly
matter.
Why the Canes are winning by a million. We're winning this game, bro. I'm sorry. There's no way that we are not taking this. We've gone through so much adversity. And like you said, Anthony, we played the former champions. We played Texas A&M. We are 7-0 against ranked teams. 7-0. And even when teams prepare to play against us, even when they know we are running A gap right up the middle.
Yeah, and just to clarify, 3 against top 10.
Oh, thank you. Actually, yeah, thank you. But when teams are preparing to play us against the A gap, and they know we're running the ball up the middle, they cannot stop Mark Fletcher, man. Mark Fletcher is averaging about 5 to 6 yards a carry.
Or Marty Brown. Or Marty.
He runs it up the middle. And Carson Beck, I don't even need to because I've said so much about Carson Beck. And I am so obsessed with him right now. It is insane. He's the best field manager and the best field general to be had on the college football field. Dare I say it. He's going to outperform.
Cam Ward.
Bro, wait.
Cam Ward.
I said this season.
Oh,
Raul, before you go, I just want to say this: the narrative against Ohio State was the running defense. And granted, they had a great one for sure. They showed it throughout the regular season, and I wrote a story.
They run
about
through their
that.
throats. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly,
They run through their throats.
exactly. You saw Mark just run through anybody. You saw Marty just step up big.
Jamar Brown.
Jamar Brown when he wasn't playing
like
that much.
Yeah.
And you saw Gerard Pringle Jr. have a little moment there. Like, come on, the Hurricanes have the best running depth in the nation, and they're gonna show it again. That's how they got here.
The back of the end zone back here. Mark Fletcher's getting there twice next game. He's getting back there 2 times.
My answer is gonna be quick as possible.
Please, man, don't come on.
Do it.
I got the Hoosiers winning it.
Yes.
I got the Hoosiers winning it. Apparently, I've been the kryptonite to all the opponents that I've chosen. And so, but in every episode, I've said my reasons towards it.
Let's hear it.
As a sports analyst, guys, this is the number one offense in the league. I respect that they overcome against the second best offense of this season. But man, Fernando Mendoza is that guy. 5 touchdowns, and he only had 177 yards. He didn't have to throw the long ball. It was short passes. He went 17 to 20. Also, he had a little help from the run game. Like, man, this team is literally built for success. I mean, they're not one of the best defensive teams, so that's something that gives me a cause to pause. But Fernando Mendoza, literally, he's giving me a glimpse of what we saw of Joe Burrow when he won the Heisman, and the team with all the pieces he had around won the Natty. That was basically if not the perfect team that we've ever seen win a championship. People are talking about Michigan because they be undefeated. Dave McCarthy was not the reason. I can give Blake Curran the reason why their offense was scoring points. It was basically more on the defense, even though they were 5 games without Jim Harbaugh. We already know the scenario. I'm not gonna elaborate on that. But this team, man, like what you saw from Fernando Mendoza, he didn't have to throw the long ball. He was doing short passes. Look at the amount of touchdowns he scored. You got Kalen Black also in the backfield. You got wide receivers like Charlie Becker, Omar Cooper Jr., EJ Williams. Like this team offensively, I can say it doesn't have a better running game, but it has better wideouts. If it was the team from last year with Xavier Restrepo and other wide receivers that Cam Ward had around him and tight ends, we could be talking a different scenario. But guys, offensively, you're telling me Miami's a better offensive team than the Hoosiers? They got to rely on the run game. Carson Beck has got to limit his passes as well. That's what Mario Cristobal is doing. He's basically like having a different game plan with every team to see how Carson Beck basically doesn't screw over, limits his interception errors. O-line protecting him, which the O-line has been amazing. The O-line of Miami, one of them is gonna be in the first round of the NFL. Why can you talk and I can't talk? Can I finish my day?
I gotta ask you something legitimately.
Okay.
All right. Beck has had to play differently since coming to Miami. That is no doubt, and it's actually helped them, and that's the reason why he's going to be a higher draft pick than he would have been a year ago. Now, let me ask you this:
Didn't you have cause to pause against Louisville?
What happened?
Didn't you have cause to pause against Louisville? 4 interceptions.
I mean, yeah.
Even though they lost by 3. Even though it was impressive, they only lost by 3.
What happened after?
All right.
Now, okay. You compare the wide receivers.
Sorry, what's the question again?
Are those wide receivers as impactful as CJ Daniels, Keelan Marion, and Malachi freaking Tony?
No, they're not.
Right. Okay, that's all I got to ask.
Pump the brakes. Because Elijah Surratt.
All right. Who limits mistakes?
The Canes.
Oh, so you tell me the Hoosiers have had issues this year with fumbles and interceptions?
Let me ask this. In these playoffs, what has been their toughest?
Who's been the
moment?
most dominated? Who's blowing out every single team?
Dude, you compare the schedules. The Kings have had a tougher opponents. Come on, man. They can't blow out every top team.
All right, so Anthony, wait. Time out. Which conference is Indiana?
Are they like the Big Ten?
So ACC is a tougher schedule than the Big Ten. That's what you're trying to say.
Facing Florida State.
Who are the teams that have won recently? Nobody in the SEC, nobody in ACC. It's been Big 10 or Big 12. True or false?
All right. All right, that's passed.
True or false?
And in those years, where was Indiana? Among the bottom.
Okay, so would it be more interesting if the Hoosiers win a title as a perfect season when they have been irrelevant for decades and generations? Or the Canes going back to their winning ways for the first time since 2001 and winning their 6th title? Which would be like the biggest headline for you?
I mean, you're asking a guy who covers one of the teams, or you're kind of giving me a biased question right here, man. You're not giving me a good question because I'm gonna be biased on this.
That's not a good question. All right, so I just gave you a difficult
views. The Canes would obviously be a bigger headline for me.
All right, so if you're working at ESPN as a neutral ESPN analyst, there you go. There you go. What about you, Nick? If you're an ESPN analyst, what would be the biggest headline?
Bro, ESPN pays their people that hate Miami every year.
Okay, all right. Throw that out of the way. Like, being biased. Nick, Anthony, what will be the biggest headline?
Well, if I'm going to be unbiased here, the spread does have Indiana winning this game. And I see the analytics and I see the stats on why India is supposed to win this game. But again, man, look at the difference in teams that they played. And I'm going to give it to Anthony here. And this is, and I'm really trying not to be biased. This is my own analytical view of this.
Okay.
Indiana, they are 5-0 against ranked opponents. One of those teams isn't even ranked anymore.
Against who? Against who, sorry?
Illinois.
No, you say 5-0 against who? Like
5-0 against ranked opponents.
Okay, gotcha. No, just
I don't want to say that the ranked opponents that they played against were awful because Oregon is a good team. I don't want to say otherwise. They just always choke in the end every single season. It's classic Oregon. Illinois isn't even ranked anymore. Alabama lost to FSU at the beginning of the season. So Alabama, for me, since the beginning of the season, has never really been in contention for any of that. I still can't believe they got into the playoff. Should have been Notre Dame over Alabama, in my opinion, but we'll get into that another day. But, I will say their best opponent was against Ohio State. And what happened in that game? Final score 13-10. It was they dogged them. Defensively, they dogged them. It was a masterpiece of a game, but I'm going to go back to what Anthony said because it's the truth. Miami's battle-tested, man. And yeah, you can look at the Canes schedule and be like, oh, FSU's not ranked anymore. But you know who is? Notre Dame. Notre Dame's still ranked. Pitt was ranked. Texas A&M's ranked. Ohio State's ranked. Ole Miss is still ranked. These are all teams. They've overcome so much adversity throughout the entire season. And we've watched them get better and better and better. When you see Indiana, they've just been flatlined at greatness the entire season. But again, man, these Canes, dude, it's hard to go against them. Even from an ESPN, I mean, I'm not trying to be an ESPN analyst because, like Anthony said, they pay the people that hate the Canes. But it's hard. It's really hard for me not to.
Want to try to say that I added Big 12. I'm have that as a mistake from my part. Just to wrap this up, mostly from this decade and last decade, it has been SEC or Big 10 teams winning the championship. The last two teams have been Big 10, Ohio State and Michigan.
Okay,
Indiana's in that same conference. And then the priors to that has been Alabama, Georgia, LSU, you name it. In the early decades, it was Florida State and other teams in the ACC. But literally, if I'm mistaken, that since Florida State, there's not been an ACC team to win the Natty.
Raul, let me ask you this real quick. What was Indiana's best win?
Best win?
Of the regular season?
I would say Ohio State.
Does that win?
And Oregon, and they then beat them again.
Oregon. Ohio State's technically it's not the regular season.
Okay,
Well, no, actually, I lied.
No, they did. The last game of the season.
Can we agree? Okay, can we agree that was their best win, right? We can agree on that?
Yeah.
Does that win jump any of the wins that they had, that the Hurricanes had in the first 5 games of the regular season alone?
That win, you said? Repeat that again?
That Ohio State win,
yeah.
is that more impressive than the wins that the Hurricanes had in the first 5 games of the regular season alone?
No.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Gators.
Gators.
Seminoles.
USF.
USF.
Bethune-Cookman was not impressive. We can agree on that.
So, come on, man.
Exactly. We're not even
equivalent
naming
of playing
that.
Kennesaw State. Okay, listen. Bethune-Cookman's like the equivalent of like Indiana playing Kennesaw State this season, so that matches out.
So that Ohio State victory, does that jump any of the other victories that the Hurricanes had against those ranked opponents?
I'm going to say that the Hurricanes' last wins have been more impressive than the Hoosiers' last games because they didn't have those expectations. They were not the favorite. But if you're comparing the beginning of the season, those first 5 games from the Hurricanes, even though they were not favored against Notre Dame, possibly the way the Seminoles beat Alabama, they were also like, let's just say 50-50. I mean, Indiana to capture the number 1 spot in the conference, that game, let alone, is better than the first 5 wins for Miami. They gave the defending champions their first loss to win the to win their conference and to stay number 1 in the league.
Wait, hang on. I'm glad you said that. They gave the reigning champions their first loss. I'm glad you said that.
Won the conference and number 1 seed in the whole league.
Who in the biggest stages of college football gave belt to ass to Ohio State? Who had a better differential? The Hurricanes had a bit. Remember, the selection committee always we compare the schedules, right? We compare schedules, common opponents. The Hurricanes had a common opponent with
Miami. Miami was gonna win that game regardless because.
No, we're not doing that.
No. Wait. You guys, all right. Timeouts. False starts.
I'm getting
false start.
I'll go to the penalty box.
Penalty box. Review that play.
Review play.
The final score was 24-14, right?
Yes.
How much did the offense score?
They scored 2 touchdowns.
In total. Let's just say in total.
2 touchdowns offensively. And then they had the pick 6.
And a field goal.
And the pick 6.
Pick 6 is defense. That's what I'm trying to say, Anthony. So the score was going to be 17-14. The score was going to be 17-14. That's what I'm trying to say. It was going to be regardless of Miami win 17-14 without the pick 6. Well, depending if he didn't do the pick 6, he could have driven to the end zone. You never know what Julian Sayin and that offense could have done. I'm not going to take credit to Miami. What have I said in the last episodes? Give credit to what credit is due. Mario Cristobal has been a GOAT in this playoffs, having a different strategy, game plan, solution to whichever was going to affect Miami from their opponents, giving it to them. And at the end of the Ole Miss game, y'all know you guys were sweating.
Yeah, we were, of course.
You guys were sweating. The Rebels were about to win. So, guys, I'm just saying that, all right, they beat the second best offensive team. If healthy this upcoming Monday, I'm still not discarding or taking percentage-wise that the Canes can upset the Hoosiers and win it at their territory. All right, so let me give you a good stat just to wrap it up. This decade, there have been 2 teams between professional and collegiate level that have hosted the championship. Those were the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Raymond James Stadium. They beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Those were the Rams against the Bengals at their turf. Question mark. Can that happen with the Canes? There's a good percentage that could happen. But my take, just to basically be the kryptonite to the opponents, I'm taking the Hoosiers, staying undefeated, and being the first team since LSU to not only win a natty undefeated, but to also have a Heisman player in that roster with the quarterback position. In this case, after Joe Burrow, now named Fernando Mendoza. That's just going to be my last take. If you guys want to say something to wrap up the show, the floor is on yours.
The theme this year.
I can go the other way if you want, but
don't you even dare. Don't you even dare, man.
Listen. Stay on your
side. Stay over there. The theme of the whole regular
if it happens, I'm definitely not gonna be invited to any party here in Miami.
No, we're gonna trash your birthday party, by the way. We're gonna trash your apartment more. Listen, the theme of these college football playoffs with the Hurricanes has been belt to ass. Because every game they're underdogs. And granted, we love it.
Yeah.
Belt to ass on Texas A&M, belt to ass on Ohio State, and then belt to ass on Ole Miss. Belt to ass to Indiana.
Nick.
Oh. Yes! Give me that!
All right, so since he has the belt, you can do the U just to wrap up this show. This was episode number 24. Number Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, the Black Mamba. Another good one, guys. Let's see what happens this Monday with the national championship. Indiana Hoosier, undefeated #1 team, faces the underdog Miami Hurricanes, hosting it at their turf, the Hard Rock Stadium, where right now it's been 2 weeks where Nick has been staying. Obviously, that's
scary here, guys.
Obviously, when security comes that day, that's going to be his last moment. And then we'll see what happens this weekend in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs and upcoming news of Ja Morant, Dupont, and other players that could possibly be in the trade market. I'm Raul Pagan. My colleagues, Anthony Aguirre and Nick Dupont. We'll see you definitely next week.